maximum mileage out of our time spent. Okay. So before we get into how to invest time, let us try to understand a few questions on why to invest, what exactly to invest, then with whom to invest, how much to invest, when and where to invest, and finally we will come to how to invest. Okay, so unless and until we understand all these questions, basic questions about why is that we have come here, what do we want to do, okay, what is our basic objective, we will then come to the final and big question of how we can invest for the best, get the best out of this entire forum. Okay. So why do we want to invest time in the BBB? Very simple, correct? For that matter, any network organization or for that matter, in any sphere of business life you get it. Okay? Simple. Business growth and then to make money. So this is the basic premise for each one of us. Okay, we want to grow our businesses, and then let us be very frank, we are all here to chase what is end. Okay. So unless and until we have that core objective, none of us would be doing this, getting up early in the morning and come to such a meeting. So once we are very clear on why to invest, let us get into what exactly to invest. Okay. So we are looking at time, not just time, but very clear quality time without any unwavering focus. Okay, so we are looking at time, attention, and your energy. So now that the two basic premises of why and what to invest, let's look at with whom to invest. Do you want to spend your time with each and everybody, or do you want to have a prioritized list? So that is what we are looking at. Okay. So figure out which are your complementary and supplementary businesses and have very, very clear priorities. Okay. And here, as we speak, a lot of people are almost solopreneurs, right? What I mean by solopreneurs is you are running your business as a single term or you have a very small team. Okay. By looking at who do you work with in terms of your complementary and supplementary businesses. Okay. Person A could be doing something which definitely gels well or has a positive correlation with another person who is doing business, person B. It's always great to come together because a team is greater than a sum of its parts. Okay, and here it is such a beautiful forum where each and every person is the decision maker and the owner of his or her business. So imagine the kind of powers they have to decide what they can do. So next step is imagine these people representing you as your sales directors, right? So they already know how to pitch in because they are doing it for themselves day in and day out. So just by having that clear correlation and good business acumen with these people, you are bound to exponentially increase your footprint, business footprint. Next is how much to invest, right? So this is very, very important. There has to be a very clear and fine balance of how much time to invest because there is this concept of everybody knows what is ROI, right? Return on investment. Okay. So just add T to that, make it ROT. It is very simple. Return on time you invested. Okay. Everybody in this world who is born has 24 living on earth has 24 hours, right? 7 days a week, 365 days, right? So how do you make maximum out of this limited time you have? Is what defines how much to invest. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Very, very fine balance. And the focus should be how do you build trust with whoever you are working with. Because unless and until this parameter is built and then is very strongly made, nobody will kind of come forward with good amount of acquaintance with you to take your and their business mutually forward. Okay? So invest so much time in the other person, specifically your complementary and supplementary businesses, so that that mutual trust is built and you work as a team and take the entire thing in a positive direction. Fine balance, right? So how much time you want to spend, because there is a very clear balance between how much professional and how much personal. Yes, it's up to you whether you want to delve into the professional sphere of that person. Okay, please, you have to do it for any trust, please do that. But at the end of the day, remember the concept of routine. Everybody has only limited time. And very clear and specific outcome-based meetings, right? With whoever you are working with. And when and where to invest. Okay. So we will come to this specifically when we come to order all the tools which are available within BBB. So it could be formal and informal settings, and then a mutually convenient time and place where you can spend quality and unwavering focused attention with your fellow business partner. So now the big question, how, right? So we will spend a little bit more time. I have ran through the other questions slightly fast, because this is where we will spend slightly more time to figure out what are all the tools and opportunities available within BBB, which will help you to scale your businesses to the next level. Right? First and foremost, Beehive. Okay, I hope here everybody, including the people who have joined in this FY, have access to Beehive. Beehive is nothing but it's a very simple app which you can install either on your iOS or the Android mobile, which gives you a single window opportunity, single window foray into each and every person who is part of the BBB. Okay, very specific. If somebody does not have access, either do they have any working knowledge of this particular tool or app, please talk to Mr. Manager. He is the BBB coordinator in our chapter. He should be able to help you with accessing this and then making very good use of how you can take your business forward by not only working with people in this chapter but across BBB. Okay? This itself is a completely different ASS session which I would definitely ask the MC team to look into, because the more and more people know about this tool, better it is for them to take it forward. Right? Next is the bi-weekly meetings, whatever we are having right now. Correct? So this itself is a very big tool for everybody to enhance their network as much as possible. Right? It doesn't mean that you don't do anything between the two meetings, but then what is more important is not the meeting setting itself, the time before the meeting and time after the meeting where you get to network people. Okay, everybody has come here with a fresh mind, with certain objectives on what to do, what kind of opportunities they can explore, what kind of transactions they can work with. Okay? So make use of this setting. It's a very professional setting, and then this gives you very good setting where you can interact with fellow business people. Okay? Next is the 30-second slot. Okay, so in the meeting, this is one of the flows which happens during the meeting, right, where the executive will follow each and every person to talk about their business in a very crisp manner. This again is a different ASS session, but then there is one of the tool available within the BBB, okay, where you can pitch your business crisply so that whoever is there, right, understands what you're doing. Right? What I mean by whoever is there is your chapter members might know you already well, but then these meetings are conducted for visitors coming in, so that they understand in a nutshell what exactly you are providing as a business. Right? So making very effective use of 30 seconds is also a very important tool which you can use to work on your business expansion. Next is KYT. There is a very beautiful concept within BBB called Know Your Team. Okay? So this is nothing but opportunity given or free hand given to every member of the team to interact with as many people as possible, as many times as possible. But then there is a proper framework provided, right? So do work with that, work with the KYT coordinator. They will help you on how to make the best possible use of how you can do a KYT, right? So the more you know, the better it is, right? So we had talked about that in the earlier slide, okay? How to invest time and how do you invest time, okay? So figure out who are the guys who will be complementary or supplementary to your business as a priority. It doesn't mean that you need not talk to everybody else, but then again the holy concept, right? Return on time invested. Right? You invest time with somebody who is in your complementary business, the amount of returns you get with those meetings is definitely higher than somebody else, right? Who might not be in that sphere of business. Same way you have a slot which is given to each and every team member called as detailed business presentation. So apart from the 30 seconds where you talk about yourself or your business in a crisp way, this gives you ample amount of time to talk about your business. So please make use of this opportunity in a very attentive way, so that everybody understands what are you doing in a bigger scheme of things. It's very difficult to explain your business in 20 seconds and also to do it in informal settings. But assuming you are at a stage like this, how much value it will add when you talk about yourself, your business, so that others understand what you are doing in a much more detailed way. So that is why it is called a detailed business presentation, BBB. Again, this is one more topic which has to be taken as a separate knowledge sharing session. Do's and don'ts, proper framework. Maybe I would suggest the BBB coordinator to have a framework or a template which people can use to present their businesses, so that it's easy for everybody to understand. They know what to expect next when the presenter is presenting. Okay, first they talk about their business, their objectives, their focus areas, their asks and their gifts. If we have a easy flow of how we can do BBB, it will be very great. Another fantastic tool. Then you have the opportunity and transaction codes. Okay, this again is tied to your Beehive app. So these are terminologies which are used in BBB, where any business you provide to your fellow BBB member within the chapter or outside the chapter, you pass an opportunity, and then any transaction or any opportunity you get from your side, you again put it in the Beehive app as a transaction, assigning value. So that is where when the treasurer calls out the numbers, okay, it is a consolidation or a sum of all these transaction costs. Okay, why is this important? It always, should be in the back of your mind, subconscious, that what your fellow chapter member is into. Okay, and you within your sphere, your network, come across any opportunity. For instance, there is an event happening. Okay, first name which should flash in our mind is Shruti. Okay, so she does events, right? So there is absolutely no harm in at least connecting. Okay, so beyond that, it is up to her how she takes it further, right? So this is how you look into passing opportunities. It's not just about within chapter, but then you become the sales director of the rest of the other people, right? So that you expand their businesses even without they making too much, right? At least to get into the goal. CCTs, right? So Raghu might be having already some plans on how he wants to implement this, but this is again one more very, very, very strong concept, right? Which means that you hunt as a pack of wolves, right? So you go for a particular opportunity, either within the realms of BBB or outside BBB. When you go there with a basket of offerings to a particular buyer or a service seeker, right? The amount of output which you get is much higher. Okay, I will not spend too much time because this itself is a huge topic in itself. But then there is a very great tool called CCT, where each chapter or across chapters, within chapters also, these virtual teams can be formed, which can hunt in pairs or hunt in a group like wolves, so that you get bigger share of the opportunity available. Then you have knowledge sharing session, like the section which I am right now taking. Okay, please make use of these, this as an opportunity. Okay, multiple things. One is you yourself read about what exactly to present, right? And then you get an opportunity to present on such a stage, and everybody is good, right? Even if you fumble or if you have to, hone your skills on how to present, this is a very good tool to do that. Okay, and then work with the MCs of other chapters. If at all you think you can share something which is applicable for business growth within a network setting like BBB, please do that. Okay, so the more you share, the better it is, right? And more you learn on your own, right? Next is innovative meetings, especially another according to 3 points. Okay. Apart from the formalized and structured meeting concepts which we discussed about, right? The DVPs and KYTs and CCTs and all that. Chapters are coming with innovative ways of meetings. Okay, so we have this cluster KYT network. Okay, please make use of that. It's a very good innovation being done by multiple chapters. Okay, please do stay in touch with whoever is the respective coordinator, so that you also become part of these meetings. So that it's more of one to many rather than one on one. Right? So even those settings are very important. Right? Then you have socials and events. Okay, so be aware of the calendar of what is published within the BBB, within the chapter, okay? And make sure you show up, right? So I didn't put, I did not talk too much about meeting, but then let me make it very clear. Okay, in Hindi they say, right? So okay. So unless and until you are visible, unless and until you show up, right? Because showing up is like 90% done. So the 10% takes care of by your presentation, how you interact. So unless and until you show up, okay, so it's not just meeting. Also in terms of the socials which are conducted by the chapter or rest of the region, or events like you have with you have a cricket tournament coming up. Okay? Please make sure you take out time to do that, because it gives you a fantastic setting to interact with people. Okay, so yeah, these settings are very important, but then some informal settings where you can talk to people about multiple things will help you in building that trust and building that camaraderie with other people. And then opportunity to lead and contribute. What I mean here is there are people sitting in this room already who have sat on that table, right? And then who are leading other teams, okay, or other chapters. Like for instance, he's a chapter director now. Sudhi madam is there, she's a chapter director. Okay. So there are opportunities within this framework and structure where you can become a leader, right? Where you can control things, where you can give direction to the chapter. Right? At the same time, there are multiple other smaller ways in which you can contribute, and these are things which will help you stay visible, stay in the limelight. What I mean by other contributions are, I am the mentoring coordinator of this chapter, okay, and then third is VI coordinator, right? So like that we have attendance coordinator. So these are things which help you to interact with other people on a constant basis. So this is where you keep building your trust. So this is what I mean. There are opportunities for you to grab, to lead, and also to contribute. Right? And then there is one particular network where nobody stops you from doing any kind of cross-sector participation. Yes, there are some rules. You need to talk to the example about how many times you can visit to another chapter and what kind of member policy you have when you go to the other chapter. But then you always have this accessibility to every other member within the entire BBB network. Okay? And BBB is a fantastic tool that you can use to do it. So yes, the system is in place. Okay, BBB as a whole and the entire framework. Okay, the system is in place for you to take care of your business, take your businesses to the next level. The question is, are you ready? Right? So this is what you need to ask yourself. So thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to share.